Traders, welcome back to another monthly recap. The day that you all have been waiting for. Relentless, how did you do? How did you perform? May May month results coming right up. Guys, hit that thumbs up, and of course, if you're a new viewer, consider subscribing as you watch throughout the video. So, this is how we're looking in terms of the calendar. 3 red days, and 2 of them a little on the bigger side. Guys, when you're trying to be aggressive, when you're trying to push share size, and you're trying to extend and expand your comfort zone, you're bound to have some losses that are a little bigger. Now, with these 3 red days, and you guys know I'm risk first, which is why I'm focusing on the red days first, they're not that bad, and it's great that there's only a few of them, right? If we compare our biggest red day, 899, versus our biggest green day of 4,000, there's definitely a huge difference there, and that's exactly what we want to see, separation. But to focus on the green days, right? Biggest green day here of the year, right? Biggest green day yet, 4K, which was a beautiful day of trading, and we really and truly got most of this done within 20 minutes. So that was impressive. Tuesday, the 2nd of May. But week one wasn't too bad. We did have these 2 red days, which, close days. You guys know how it is. The fine line is always the thing, right? The fine line of day trading. The small differences, the milliseconds. Week number 2, we come in, we study up, and this is why it's always good for me to study Sunday evening. I'm fresh, I'm ready for the next week, and we have a solid week. Smaller green day on the 12th, but still pretty good. Week number 3, excellent as well. And again, Friday, a little bit of a smaller green day. Week number 4, we continue, and this was our longest green stretch, believe it or not, right? Usually I get up to like 8 green days, and then there's a red day coming. So this is pretty good. And it just, it lets you know that it can really be done in terms of the consistency day over day. Now, drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. There's no need to do the math here and try and see how much we've made. Drum roll, please. And here we go. This is the final tally of the month. So we did 18K, very solid, $18,695.15. These are gross gains, by the way. Net, we probably have to take off at least 400 is my guess. But yeah, still a pretty solid month, about 849 per day on average, 256,000 shares of volume, which is still not close to my 500,000 mark I'm supposed to be gunning for. I'm supposed to be pushing 500,000 shares of volume, and that would hopefully double, maybe even triple this amount. But it lets us know that there's still work that needs to be done, and it's why I have to continue to try and be aggressive here into this new month of June. Average winning trade is 75, average losing trade 50. Not the separation I want to see here. I prefer to have a 2-to-1 in this area, but there are other reasons as to why we are green, right? Accuracy, 49% in terms of winning trades. Scratch trades are about 50%, and well, rather, losing trades are at 50%, and scratch trades 13%. Max consecutive wins 9, max consecutive losses 10. Largest gain 1,100, largest loss 900. So we've had some big trades, we've had some big losses as well. Sometimes these stocks, in certain situations, they will take the elevator going up. And when we can be in early with size, we can capture 50 cents, maybe $1 a share even in some crazy areas where it's extremely volatile. But with great risk comes great reward, it comes great risk. And, just as fast as they can go up, sometimes they go down. And if you're caught in the big flushes, this is the result. A $900 loss in the blink of an eye. So average trade gain, $10. After it's all said and done, right? Between the winners, losers, and everything else. Trade P&L standard deviation, we got 109, so pretty decent there. Profit factor 1.4, average hold time winning trades around 20 seconds, 13 average hold time losing trades, 8. These numbers kind of vary depending on the market we're in, and even if I'm seeing more 5-minute setups throughout a given month, because sometimes if there are more 5-minute patterns, I'm holding for at least 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. And of course, it does skew these stats just a little bit, or alter, right? Maybe the better word. So, performance by day of the week. I don't know what it is about Tuesdays, man, but Tuesdays have been rocking. Usually Wednesday is the lowest day, and it just goes to show for me, some people will say, man, I hate Fridays, I hate Mondays, I hate Wednesdays. I think there's no such thing. Each day it's very similar but very different at the same time. So, just aim to perform your best on each given day. And, wherever you land, but we always can try to improve and make progress. Tuesdays, for some reason, has been a little bit better than the rest. But, not too bad. Each and every day offering something, and that's all that really matters. You guys know for me, I don't set daily goals. It's just, hey, show up every morning and perform your best, right? That way there's no pressure. It's just me trying to do, my best trading possible. Trying to stay focused, trying to stay locked in. So between 9:30 and 10, we got 11.4, and this is between 9:30 and 10 because we don't trade before the open. It's rare. And then between 10 and 10:30, we got 7.7. And you can see there's nothing for power hour because power hour, I think, has been just on the softer side. But we did have some losses around 11 a.m., which wasn't great, minus 1K. There are some other stats down here. But yeah, I don't really pay too much attention to them. Price and volume between 2 and 5, and then 5 and 10 is where we did the best. 10 and 20, just a small amount there, nothing crazy. Performance by stocks. And this is another area where it's great for separation. ENVB, 3K, TIRX, 26, HTCR, 2300, 19 BMR. And if we look at the losing side, we got 683, 680, 511, 509, and 496. So in terms of just separation here, this is exactly what I'd like to see, in terms of just the ratio. So it's telling me, hey, when it's slow, I am doing a good job of just easing off of the stocks, trying not to get myself into too much trouble. And there's a very fine line between, understanding when you're taking losses and when to keep going versus when to stop and slow down. It is pretty tricky because sometimes you can feel very good mentally, but you just happen to take in loss. And that's the day where you have to put the max loss in place, say, hey, that's it. I'm not going to keep putting out capital out there and just seeing negative returns, right? So, understanding the balance, when to walk away, and some days it is deserving to stay, right? It makes sense to stay, but we have to understand, hey, let's pace ourselves, maybe a bit of a small choppy start, and things will, come back around later into the morning. But if we're not seeing anything that's indicating that there's strength coming, then we just want to shut it down, walk away, keep it small. Of course, the more volume the stock is pushing, the better we're doing, and relative volume as well. As this is essentially saying, hey, nothing is happening with the stock, and then pre-market we show up, there's breaking news, which then leads to volume, right? Attention, which then leads to volume, and then we see opportunities in terms of just the patterns, the setups, the price action trades, the edges, right? So the more volume, the better. Stocks that are not trading with volume, I'm staying away from because there's just not as much action. There's not as much patterns and setups taking place. Market behavior, this is another one I don't really pay too much attention to, but in terms of how we're doing relative to the SPY, we are still in a bear market, so the small caps aren't very connected to the overall market. They are, and some people will argue that they are more connected than I'm perceiving and saying. But I believe the large cap stocks, the big blue chip stocks, the ones that are holding more weight towards the market, are usually moving in tandem with the market, although that's not always the case. But small caps, they seem like they're their own thing, right? Each their own island, And when there's a catalyst, if the catalyst is good enough and perceived well enough, we can see a strong move despite being in a weaker market. Win-loss expectation in terms of our drawdowns, we've had two right down here. We've had two drawdowns, one of 1,000, the other of 800, and we've bounced back. Although, here into June, we've had another drawdown, 1,700, which is not great. But yeah, the win-loss P&L comparison, I really don't like this stat. I don't like looking at it because it lets me know that I could be way more efficient. I could be way better. Making 65,000 on the month, but losing 46,500. I lost $46,000 this month. That doesn't sound good. Doesn't sound good at all. But this is a part of the strategy. You can look at the glass half full or half empty, right? I always look at it half full. You can say, man, this guy lost 46 grand and he didn't retain more than 40-50% of his profits. But at the end of it, we still say, okay, there's $18,000 in gains, right? How do you want to look at it? And of course, if you look at it this way, for me, it really just lets me know I can be better. If anything, I can make more and lose less and retain more of my gains. So, always look at it from the brighter side is how I'd encourage everyone to, look at their metrics and their stats. We don't ever want to come here and be down about how we performed. We just want to see what is there and how we can make progress. It's not personal. We don't want to get caught up with the small things. It's a matter of just, hey, how can I improve? And even for accuracy, some people will say 49% accuracy. I mean, you compare that to grade school. In grade school, if you're not at least at 75 and up, 80 and up, you're doing terrible. So there are other reasons as to why we're profitable, right? When it comes to our risk management, when it comes to our risk to reward ratio, right? And how we're approaching the trade, our thought process, our analysis, our intuition, right? The experience that we have. There are other reasons as to why we're profitable just besides accuracy, right? For example, so let's keep our heads up, and you can have a 90% accuracy and still be red. If you're green $100 on 9 trades, and then your last trade you read 1K, you're still net negative, and that's with a 90% accuracy. So let's not get too bent out of shape. Let's always make sure we stay cool, calm, collected. So performance by day, right? Win versus loss by days. We had 19 winning days versus 3 losing days. And on those 19 days, we did 20,500. So it's pretty impressive. And we lost 1,800 on the 3 red days. I mean, this is some pretty crazy stuff, man. For me, it's always been slow and steady. So, whilst I'm doing it, it doesn't really feel like I'm doing it, but I'm still doing it at the same time. It's a very weird, strange feeling. And, when I see this type of stuff, this is what I expect myself to do every day, right? It's like, if the market is to slow down, it's going to be like, just patience to then get back to this again and then even more, right? Because as well as I did, I don't feel like I pushed myself, not even close. So I already know I can do better and I can do more depending on the market conditions. So, that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. And even when it comes to the wall of liquidity, again, I'm not even pushing the 500,000 shares of volume I'm supposed to be. So there's a lot of things I can continue to work on and be better at over the time. And we will, right? But, it'll be gradual, slow and steady, which is the marathon mindset that we teach over at MMU, right? If you think about getting rich quick, it's not going to work. The only way to really get rich quick is to win a lottery. And even if you win a lottery, if you don't know how to manage the money's going to come and go like a deadline. Before you know it, that's it. You're back in the gallows, right? Back in the depths. So, if you can go through the process slowly and steadily, you can build a character and the responsibility really, and to be able to be a good manager, to then manage the money, because not everyone is really in a situation where they've been able to have access to cash to where they can manage. So you got to learn if you don't know, right? Sometimes some people even go as far as taking like a finance class or something, right? Whether online or through an institution of some sort. But yeah, this is the month, guys. To wrap it up, we always got to give a little bit of a speech at the end here, a bit of a rant, some motivation for the people who, might still be having a hard time. And, I want you guys to know that it wasn't always like this, right? If we clear this out and we switch back to a couple of years ago, right? And you can see even my accuracy here is only now really improving, right? From, low 60s, now we're seeing months where we're finishing, 75, 80% plus in terms of green versus red days, right? If we come back to the calendar and we push back to 2020, just pay attention to how many more red days there were. Look at October. This is my favorite month to always show, because ultimately this is the opposite of what I'm doing now. Just a few green days, just all red days. So know that this is me. This is me. This is not just you know somebody else's metrics I'm pulling up. This is me struggling. So understand that I always like to tell myself, if the market slows down, I can slow down too and reduce my share size, right? This is what I've learned from these months like this. So even if I'm going to be red every day now, it's going to be small red days. After the third day, I'm sizing down, always. So, it's all about going one step at a time, one day at a time, pacing yourself, right? Each day, make sure you're screen recording. Make sure you're reviewing your trades. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to sit there for 2, 3 hours. You can trade for an hour or two, however long you trade. You have everything recorded. At the end of the day, for 20 minutes, you can come back, a little bit of a study session, going through how you did, how you performed, where you went wrong, what you can adjust, what you can do better, what you want to eliminate, what you can continue working on. And it's like slowly and steadily, you start to make less mistakes. And for some of you, it'll be a faster road. For some of us, it'll be a bit of a slower journey. But no matter where you are, who you are, let's just embrace the process. Let's enjoy this, and then understand that we can get to a better place. So, the 4 green days to 100 red days here, this wasn't good. But still, on the red days, taking away the lessons, right? Taking away the lessons and coming back stronger and better, trying to get my mental, state of mind, get my mental, in the right place, right? In terms of the right state of mind, a positive place. So slow and steady, let's keep grinding, and another thing is too that I went sideways. If we come back to detail, for those of you consolidating and things like that, I've went sideways for quite some time, right? Look at this, from August 2020 all the way to, essentially February of the next year, 2021. That's a long time. It's about 6, 7 months of me just going sideways, but it's not time to panic. The main thing is to not have big red days, right? We're struggling, let's reduce size, let's make adjustments, let's see. And sometimes it's a very, very simple thing. Trading is very delicate. It really is delicate. I mean, the smallest of things can alter and affect the strategy. So we always want to be confident. We want to be courageous in the eyes of fear. We want to always have a trade plan. Let's make sure that we're buying where we need to buy and selling where we need to sell, right? We need to be in tandem with the stocks that we're trading. We have to understand risk. We have to understand the personality of the stock and how it's moving and where we should be buying, right? And so, for those of you who are looking to learn, as we're going to wrap it up here, for those of you who are looking to learn how to trade, be sure to check out MMU, right? Merciless Markets. This is, and this coupon here is expiring. Expires June 3rd. In fact, it's still live. Today's the 4th. and we're going to be taking this down soon. But yeah, for those of you who are looking to get started, be sure to check out MMU. This is the day trading course that I have. Myself along with Marcelo from Mighty Stocks on YouTube. You guys can check out his channel, right? Check out his channel. If you want to get involved, this is one of the best ways to get involved with the markets. We go through all of our strategies from zero to advanced, going through everything that we know. And it's a way to give yourself a legit chance in the market. It's not any get rich quick nonsense, but the marathon mindset, slow and steady, one day at a time, one trade at a time. So to take a look at it, if you're interested, feel free, right, to look around on the website. Besides that, guys, make sure to subscribe to this channel if you have not already, right? Be sure to subscribe. Relentless Trader is the most transparent in the world. I live stream all my trades every weekday morning between, let's say 9:30 and 11. And on top of that, we do some pre-market analysis all the time. We go over our watch list, our game plan for the day, how we're going to approach the day, and then we trade live. So be sure to check us out. You'll be able to see all the big green, all the big red, everything in between. There are no tricks or gimmicks here. It's just the market and myself every single day. Besides that, feel free to check out our Discord. Right? This is where it goes down, right? The Discord, which is in the process, as there's a squirrel here trading stocks even. Discord is in the process of being subscription based. There are still a lot of things that needs to be done, but for now you can still join it for free. All right. Enjoy it here. Enjoy hanging out with traders, like-minded people who are here every day putting in the work. All right. So with that being said, stay safe, stay green. For MMU, we will have a Q&A. The Q&A this weekend will be led by Marcelo. I forgot he's going to also do this week. But I'll be around. I'll be there as well. That will be around 2 p.m. All right, guys. So stay safe, stay green. Have a good weekend. I'll see the rest of you at 2. And I am, of course, signing out.